Hello, Rosmery in Bolivia. Hello, Irma in Ecuador. Hello, Raj in Canada. Emily and Jocelyn in Mexico. Andy, Roxy in Peru. Sharon, my student. Sharon Mikal, I guess, my student in Piura, Peru. And Judy in Germany. And the 10 people or 20 people who are following us in Facebook Live. Today is the 15th of November here in Peru. It's 9:32. Unfortunately, here in Peru, we are living difficult times because of political situations. 2 students died yesterday,
Oh, no.
unfortunately, but we hope this situation gets better today. The Congress men are getting together today to find a solution for this big political and social problem. But the show must go on, so let's continue with our 31st international meeting with Rosmery Ribera. So let me show you my PowerPoint, and today that is just a few seconds of silence because of the 2 students, 24 and 25, who passed away last night. Well, talking about bad moments, a few weeks ago, I started talking about being grateful. And this is what I found about being grateful. Rosemary, could you please read the first one for us? I'm grateful for?
Early wake-ups.
Yes,
Children's
and
love.
yeah, we usually complain because we have to get up early. But if we have children or family to love with us, we are blessed. Next, Irma.
Sure. House to clean, safe place to live.
Yeah, if we complain that we have to clean, come on, let's remember we have a safe place to live. Many people don't. Jocelyn in Mexico, your microphone, Jocelyn.
Laundry and clothes to wear.
Yeah, when we say, come on, I have to do I have to wash my clothes, think you have clothes to wear. Many people don't. Next, anybody?
Dirty dishes
Yeah,
is
that,
food to eat.
yes, when we have to wash the dishes, remember, thank God we have food to eat. Emily?
Under the table, family meals.
Yeah, when you and your family, your husband, your children get together. Next, Roxy? Your microphone, Roxy?
Sorry, excuse me.
No, that's okay, that's okay.
Shopping to do means money to use.
Yeah, thank God. Andy?
Toilets to clean, indoor plumbing.
Yeah, that is Andy. Many people, many families in Mexico, Peru, Bolivia, Ecuador, Colombia don't have indoor plumbing, and they need to carry water very far from their houses. Next, lots of noise means kids having fun. I would love my children were little and they would be running, but now they are 25, 24, 20, and 15. So they don't run
Happy
anymore.
grandkids.
Okay, and finally,
I can
endless
read number
questions.
9.
Yeah,
Endless,
yeah,
endless questions means kids learning.
yes. So every time your kids they ask you questions, thank God they are there because they want to learn. And finally, anybody?
I'm still alive.
Yes, you are
And
still
that
alive.
is
Every
very
time, every
close to home.
yes, every time you feel tired and you have a pain, thank God you are still alive. Okay, next Sunday we will have Tito Hidalgo from Ecuador, and finally Monica Rosas from Mexico. Just like Esther Vasquez from Argentina, Rosmery and me, we have never met face to face yet. I was supposed to meet you last year, no, this year in Bolivia, but because of the political problems, I couldn't travel over there. But we have become good friends thanks to Gabriela Rodriguez, because we were together in a webinar, right, Rosmery?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so let me read a few things about our guest speaker today. Rosmery Ribera holds a bachelor's degree in English, 2 postgraduate online degrees from the University of Oregon, and she's finishing a master TESOL. Is that all right?
Correct.
Okay, if there is a mistake, please correct me. She works as a teacher trainer at Santa Cruz English Teachers Association in Santa Cruz, Bolivia. Rosmery has written an ebook. Oh my God. Rosmery has written an ebook about essay writing. She has hosted and moderated several webinars and MOOCs. Do you say MOOCs?
Yes.
Her teaching philosophy is rooted in being a lifelong learner. So welcome, Rosmery, and thank you for your time. Thank you for everything.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now you may start. The screen is all yours.
Sure. I appreciate it. So let's do this. I would like to start with a greeting video. Am I sharing? Yeah, I am. Good. That I made, even though it was late, but here we go. Warm greetings from Santa Cruz, Bolivia. It's an honor to have been invited to present the International English Online, which is organized and supervised, and he does all the work. He is Professor Jaime Ancajima from Peru. One more detail. This presentation will be the 31st one since the pandemic changed our teaching learning arena worldwide, not only here in Bolivia or South America. Without any doubt in my mind, I could say that presenters have made our migration from face-to-face teaching and learning in classrooms to online one a smooth and enjoyable one. By the way, I am Rosmery Ribera, and I would like to invite you to join. Sorry, good. There we go. How do I? Okay, here. Well, I just wanted to let you know that I made that video with lots of love for each and every one of the presenters, and of course, heads off for our organizer, Mr. Jaime Ancajima, Jaimito, as we know him. So we can now start, and I'm grateful. I would like you to know that. Sorry, I'm using a different camera. And definitely we can start now, which is here. Good. I don't know if you know this trick, but if you would like your recordings to get rid of that huge floating, you know, banner, you could do it. Here we go. I will show you how later. So as I was saying, I highly and deeply admire Mr. Jaime Ancajima, professor, and I cut it out this. If someone could read it for me, please, Raj. These are his words. If for one day. Can you see Raj?
Sorry, you were asking me to?
Yes, I'm sorry.
You wanted me to read this?
Yes, please.
Okay. If for one day we can focus and make someone else's life better, if we can focus on being like this is how God thinks. Wow.
And that's Jaimito. Exactly that. He makes our lives better.
Yeah.
Well, this is not important because it's just me, and the title of this presentation is about educational technology, the what, the when, and how. Nonetheless, it is based on theories. Well, this is my story, and we have a Google Drive. This is the you know, this is the link, but you could also scan this. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go ahead, sorry, and copy the link for you on the chat. When we all finish, I will take 3 minutes to do that. All right. Sorry, I didn't want to open that. Good. So, what is that we are going to focus on first? As I promised, after this webinar, after this session, you will be able to transfer all that wonderful knowledge about what? Pedagogy is something that we are totally prepared to do, and we are stars in our classrooms, in our face-to-face interactions with our students, and we definitely know our content. Otherwise, how could we possibly explain or make our students think and get all that English into their long-term memory? And now we need to say, welcome, educational technology since the pandemic. For this, I will present 3 theories. I had already presented the first one, which is called T-PAC. P, you know, technology, pedagogy, and content knowledge. And those kind of, you know, interlock themselves, and they are circled by the context, because we cannot use the same pedagogy for different content, and we need to adjust those educational technology tools to our students. So for that, this is something you need to know, we're going to go back in a minute to that. 9 events of Gagne. I have included my my videos link. So let's go there. Sorry. Yes, very good. Here we go. This is something I use and I love. This is it. Sorry. Here we go.
Bienvenidos nuevamente. El primer video instruccional los guío acerca de cómo encontrar y cuáles son las mejores herramientas gratis que hay en línea para poder enseñar, aprender e incluso tener un curso en línea. Este segundo video se trata acerca de los momentos de instrucción, según Gagne, para asegurar que haya retención de lo que ustedes enseñan para que su curso sea efectivo. Ok, entonces, primero que nada está que tienen que llamar la atención del alumno, informar acerca de los objetivos, activar conocimiento anterior que ellos ya tengan para basar, para enganchar el nuevo conocimiento, y recién entonces presentan su contenido y proveen guía al alumno, bastante guiado, ejercicios, prácticas que sean no muy difíciles, que ellos puedan hacer con guía del profesor. Luego viene la práctica menos guiada, que puede ser en grupos o lo pueden hacer ellos en su casa por sí solos. Mejor si lo hacen con ustedes en la sesión face to face que van a tener, ¿okay? Usando Google Hangouts o WizIQ. Entonces ahí es muy importante dar retroalimentación al alumno de lo bueno, de lo malo, de ambas cosas. De esa manera el alumno aprende de sus errores y aprende de aquello que hizo bien. Luego, de alguna manera, tienen que asegurarse de evaluar cómo el alumno se desarrolla usando el nuevo contenido que usted presentó. Y es muy importante cambiarles de escenario para asegurarse de que la retención realmente sea efectiva en la memoria de largo plazo. Entonces, eso es Gagne y está en la playlist que les voy a mandar. Está con videos muy interesantes. Acá también hay un video, varias explicaciones. ¿Ok? Ustedes tienen que, por favor, leer antes de nuestro primer workshop. Gracias.
Okay. So that was the presentation about the 9 events of Gagne. I learned these during a course. Oh, apologize. I use this camera since I can move it so you can hear the videos. 9 events of Gagne are our everyday task. We do that. We know that, and we know it by heart. That's how I presented this webinar. So now how is that we can interlock or weave all that we know and how great we are at instructing our students, as helping them to learn and get facts and information into their long-term memory and form them to be great citizens of the world. Okay, that is content and that is pedagogy. We know it by heart. We know this, but we need to integrate educational technology. How can we do that? So it's quite simple. As I learned on this Teach English Now course, they have a matrix, okay? They have the 9 events of Gagne listed horizontally, and they have the types of technology listed vertically, horizontally, sorry. And don't worry that you have all that. Everything that I'm showing you is in our Google Drive file. So you are not going to miss absolutely anything. Share screen, sorry. Okay, so everything is there in our Google, okay? The second part that I was going to present, but I will skip a little bit, is about tools. We have received so much and so great information about tools and what tools to use and how to use them, that I do not want to be, overstepping on those experts who presented. Nonetheless, here you have it. That link is going to take you, sorry, I don't like that. Good. To our, it's going to take us to our drive. Here you have a whole collection of educational technology resources. Okay. What I just explained and about TPAC is something that I would like to share with you. One of my students took notes, and this is what he came up with. It was a she or a he. Never mind. We can see here. Yeah, it's never gonna. Good, no problem. I have downloaded it, so I can show it to you. You could also see my board and how was that I explained or taught my students I didn't want to do a presentation because I would like to show you a different way of presenting information to your students so they can see all the materials you have and that you don't only have limited resources, that you have a lot. And some students are quite interested on actually getting these resources from you. So here you have what I have just explained. And our next step, but I want to find what my, by the way, these are all my students' work, by the way. Sorry. They did this. They did this, 9 events of Gagne, and they explained them with their own words using using some of the tools that I taught them how to use. I will leave a list of the blogs that they wrote during this course, okay? And I wanted to know where our resources are, okay? By the way, this matrix is not mine, right? This, the matrix that I talked to you about comes from Teach English Now, a course in Coursera. Right, so you have the 9 events of Gagne and the different types of technology: word processing, organizing and brainstorming, data collection analysis, communication and collaboration, instructional media, multimedia creation tools, instructional interactives, database and reference resources, kinesthetic technology, and I added a column here called motivational software. So what moves your students? What is that they like the most? Maybe, and of course, I'm sure that they have better resources than the ones that we know. So this, again, you can download it. The link is there. I will share my presentation with my dear, okay, Jaimito. This is not what's up. Well, whatever. Doesn't matter. So, as I told you, this is important because it will help your students become autonomous learners. You are not there for them the whole time. What's more, they need to come to your class prepared, if you want, okay? Prepared, knowing at least something. That's why I sent the long video. You didn't need to watch it completely, but I thought it was going to be useful. Here you also have a technology evaluation template, how to evaluate. You have lots of resources, and I would love to go ahead and move on to summer. What is summer? Summer was a model proposed, a theory or a model by Puente Dura, a Latin one. Yeah. So this is what he said. Of course, technology needs to be inside our classrooms and be part of our instruction and motivate students. But, and here comes the real deal, the truth. Not everyone manages or is knowledgeable about technology at the same level. So this is not a step-by-step recipe. No, this is how you can differentiate your instruction just by studying with students, all right, that could only substitute. They are studying. That's how I studied my classes. Okay, so what is substituting? Instead of having them write an essay or a paragraph by hand using a notebook and their pencils, you provide them with Google Docs privately. So that's going to be theirs. And then they have to send it to you, of course. Or if they don't know how to, well, watch this video, all right? And I love this analogy because you have no technology. So what can you do instead of swimming? Well, you can paddle and go, using a canoe. Augmentation. This is all about functionality. Remember the student that just wrote a paragraph? Well, what about this? Now, Google Docs has many other functions. You can give feedback, oral feedback, immediate feedback. You can watch where students struggled, and those are functions. And that is something added to just substituting or having students write by hand, okay? So functional improvement. Modification. Modification allows for significant task redesign. How can we explain this? Here, this is how I see it. 1, substitution, augmentation 2, modification 3, redefinition, the world or everything. That's my interpretation, all right? So what happens during the modification step or phase of summer? Technology allows for significant task redesign. What about this? You ask your students to transfer that paragraph into a blog. And now he's not going to get only your input or your feedback or your opinion, but his peers or maybe other teachers, everyone could access that as long as, well, it depends on the age, okay? Finally, we have redefinition. This is the perfect example of redefinition using educational technology. Do you think these meetings that Jaimito has organized and gave us as a great gift would have been possible without technology? I don't think so. And that is redefining education, the way the teaching learning process happens. As they say here, Tech allows for the creation of new tasks previously inconceivable. Yeah. Without conferencing, we couldn't have done this at all. Without blogs and sharing. So, as I told you, going from no tech to redefining education consists on two main, if you want, bases. Enhancing the way we instruct and our students learn, and we learn, of course, from them, in transforming, changing. I know change is something that hurts. It hurts, just like it happened during this and keeps happening during this pandemic. Teachers said, no, I don't know, I will not do it. You just need to start. Baby steps. Don't make them right, please. Use Word. Use a word processor, okay? Please go ahead and advance to Google Docs. And they will love that they have instant feedback, or at least personal feedback just for them and not in front of the whole class. And that is going to make their self-esteem be better, and they will be more open to learn. And we need to open those minds. When you modify, now they are, you know, like, yeah, I can do this. Okay, now it is correct. Now I can publish it. And I'm not afraid of doing that. Actually, they feel so proud. That's what I saw in my students. They put their hearts on it. Teacher, my blog, yeah, it got 60 views. They couldn't believe it, and they started competing and doing things better and trying to make their blogs look more appealing. And when you redefine it, you can ask them to do what? Not to take a test, okay? I called my boss and I said, I didn't tell them, I told them there's no test, but my boss is coming, please tell her about everything that you learned. Whatever it is that, that she tells you to talk about, you go ahead and do it. And that redefinition, I recorded them, and then I shared that with them. That wouldn't have been possible without technology. So we have covered the 9 events of Gagne, which is something that we know, pedagogy, how to deliver, the content that we are experts on, and we have covered 2 aspects here with education and technology. What are those? TPAC and summer. Technological, pedagogical, and content knowledge. And this is the level that you are going to implement technology. Substitution, augmentation, modification, or redefinition. You don't need to get to redefinition. You don't even need to get to modification. No, it depends. Are you teaching kids? Of course, you're not going to go to redefinition and redefine education for them. No, you're going to go step by step. And that would be all that I have to share with you. And I'm quite ready for any of your questions. There you go. What about if I ask a question? All right. Let's say, what is your favorite content when teaching English? Mine is grammar. I'm a crazy person. I'm a grammar freak. What about yours? Anyone, everyone? Please, this needs to be chaotic. Learning is chaotic.
I like to teach reading.
Perfect. You like to teach reading.
Mhm.
So she's the one who spoke first. And we're gonna work with that, all right? Reading, that's the content.
Mhm.
So, someone else, what pedagogy you use in order to get your students to comprehend and answer questions and at the same time learn vocabulary, whatever. I'm not gonna say anything else. Anybody else, please? How could you go about pedagogy when teaching reading? Remember the 9 events of Gagne? If you would like, I could just share so you can. I'm sorry, I think I'm not allowed. Yes, I am. Here we go. I will go to. Not clear. I'm sorry, that got in the way. I don't know what happened. Okay. I remember showing you the 9 events of Gagne. Here. Oh, sorry. It was during a video. That's why. So first of all is gaining your students' attention. I know them by heart, but the matrix, I do have that. Tipa, Samir Gagne. Here we go. Okay, good. Here we go. So you can get inspired. Remember that we are analyzing reading. How would you get the attention of your students? This is pedagogy, remember? About a reading. Anyone, please, go ahead.
Hi, Rosemary.
Hi, nice to see you, Tito.
Well, in that case, I always select a topic that goes scoring with the students' interest, age, and everything. So I usually try to enter with an indirect purpose of the topic. Let's say that it's early in the morning, and let's say that I'm going to talk about, I want to talk about food or breakfast. And so I come in and say, oh, I feel kind of hungry. How many of you are? So like that, I try to engage them into an authentic conversation and then start from there. That's the way that I do it.
Love it.
That was an attempt.
Love it. That's a great quote. You know, I'm hungry. Can you recommend something? What did you eat? May I have some? Yes. Thanks a lot. So I appreciate it. What about preparing and telling your students the objectives of this reading task?
You mean like in reading? Well, I usually my type of doing things. It's like if we're in a face-to-face environment, that would be on the board. That's what I usually do. As soon as I get there, or before the students get there, depending on the context. In the context, I write it on the board. Nowadays, usually just bring these curiosity punchline, and then I let them know. I will always let them know what the objective of the class is. It depends. I try to make it more of a mystery. Sometimes I might tell them from the beginning. Sometimes I might tell them, can we identify what we've been doing here, or what was the objective of the class? It depends in the context, actually, Rosemary.
I appreciate it. Now, anybody else, how would you go about using educational technology? Okay, at what level using technology to get attention of your students? From the top of my head, I would just show a video of, nature video, not so, not so harsh or scary. It depends on, the age of your students. If they are teenagers, I would definitely show them The Walking Dead a little bit and ask them, okay, were they hungry? Was it morning time? I don't know. I'm kind of crazy in that way. All right. After that, I would definitely ask them to tell me or write on our whiteboard or send text messages on Zoom about, okay, what do you think is the topic of this reading? Right? I'm orienting, but not orienting the learners. I'm just the guide on the side, and preparing them for maybe new vocabulary, and have them tell me what the reading is about. And that is easily done with using technology, even more than in our classrooms, right? So objectives are written, but not just by the teacher. Of course, you're gonna go ahead and edit and make like a short summary of the real objective. All right. How would you stimulate recall for prior knowledge? Didn't you already did that when you gain attention? Let's say it's breakfast, right? You propose that. How would you do it, Irma? How would you have your students recall what they already know about food and breakfast?
Most of the time, what I always do when I'm teaching something, it's using visuals. So if I'm doing it on Zoom, an online class, I will probably use images and then trying to make a general question among my students like, okay, what do you see? What do you feel? And tell me your reactions. So if I put there, like, like an orange juice, okay, they can talk about it. They can say they like it, they dislike it. They remember mom doing it or not doing it for them. And then also, orange juice, maybe breakfast, lunch, doesn't matter. But if you slowly throw different images like milk or cereal or scrambled eggs, then you put the orange juice in the context. And at the end, bottom line is like asking, okay, where or when can you get all this delicious dishes. And then, as a conclusion, hopefully my students will go like, oh, we're talking about breakfast or something like that. So,
Irma, that's amazing. You know that's how we do it in a classroom. Or what can educational technology do for you?
well, in my case,
I'm using your same idea, but I'm changing. I'm changing the roles. You know what? You could use paddle and ask your students the day before classes to look for their favorite morning food. And you could go ahead and ask the rest of them to vote. Oh yeah, this is my favorite too. You can do that on paddle, and in that way they come prepared. See, all these gain attention, orient the learner, and stimulate prior knowledge is none of your business during classes, during a face-to-face class, because you have already asked your students to access that before classes. Imagine that great advantage. They look for the pictures, they rate the pictures, they write comments. Of course, there are guidelines, you need to be respectful, all right? Or you can ask them to look for pictures of what people eat around the world and pick their favorite breakfast and post them. And then during classes, they can vote because they all have cell phones and Padlet is there. I will, in our drive, there's also a video of me doing this kind of activity. So that is why this webinar was about, yeah, I know, you know, we all know by heart what to do. But now, how can we make things work with TPAC and Summer Educational Technology? Some of them who don't know how to make a Google, you know, your instructions would say, okay, write about your favorite food or look for images of your favorite food, or just go ahead and look on Google what people eat for breakfast all around the world. So see, you have 3 levels. The 4th one would be a very short video on how to prepare your favorite food for breakfast. So you go for substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. I don't know if I make clear.
No, you were clear. You were clear. I was thinking in my students. I teach adults right now. It's a night class. And for them going from the computer to the laptop to the iPhone and from the iPhone to the Zoom, it's like, it has been quite an adventure. So yeah, I will have to train them. I will have to train them and train myself because I'm not a, a native, digital native. I'm a digital immigrant. And my students are also too. So I was just
that's exactly
trying to incorporate what you just said.
You know, start small, just by substituting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Baby steps. That's how we all work and learn. Yes.
You know, doing Google search and finding out and recipes, and maybe they know how to do it, and maybe at the end of the class, you know, we can go. Then you present. Besides, you know, this stimulating recall or prior knowledge of preparing your students will come to classes with lots of questions. Like, teacher, What's celery? What's ginger? And what's sour cream? See?
Mhm.
So it's going to be expanded, and that's more or less how your students prepare by themselves. Of course, it takes time and effort and hard. It hurts because some of them do not want to do anything. Nonetheless, when they come to class and they see how prepared the rest are, they feel a little bit ashamed. They don't tell you anything, but next class, they will be doing the pre-class tasks. Or maybe next month. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm not going to go onto these in detail because I know you know how to present content using Zoom or online. I know how to provide your learner guidance, those exercises that are need you or appear by their side. Okay, and this is illicit performance practice. That means, yeah, now that you know, now that we have talked about it, now that you heard, you wrote, you looked at pictures, you wrote and practiced, okay, now let's talk, right? And this informative feedback can be done individually by using WhatsApp messages or to the whole class, on a video and share it on your YouTube channel. And this is something that we have definitely, ya me mostró los 10 minutos, Jaimito, todavía no. Jaimito. Please unmute yourself. Cannot hear you.
Cannot hear you.
Yeah.
Open your mic, Jaime.
Jaime, we cannot hear you.
Go ahead, Jaimito.
Check the
Open your
computer
mic.
volume.
Your mic.
It's open.
There.
Okay,
now
there.
we can.
Okay, my mic was open, but it was disconnected. I was asking if you are showing us a picture because I can't see anything. Can everybody else see anything? Or is just me?
I didn't see anything.
A code.
Yes, the only thing we can see is a code.
She was going back trying to find the list of the 9
But I've been watching it like for.
I apologize. There you go.
Now, okay.
Now it's better.
Thank you.
Now
This
it's better.
happens to me the whole time. So these are Gañas. I apologize. Yeah. I was on the previous one. I actually found it. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that. So here you go. Gain attention, the hook, and whatever it is that you did in classes is perfection. And you know it by heart. And you can do it with your eyes closed. What is that you need? You need to integrate technology, knowing Samir at what level, and not the same level for the whole class, because those who are, quite good at using technology, not only chatting and Facebooking, they will get, bored. You don't want that. You can assign different levels of technology use to different groups of your class. So we were here assessing. How could you know whether your students learn or not? In my opinion, this needs to happen outside the classroom and after your session. So to be clear, gain attention, orient the learner, stimulate recall of prior knowledge is the before the class. They will have to do it. They will get used to doing it, okay? Present material, provide learner guidance, elicit performance practice during the class. Provide informative feedback. Assess and enhance. Provide and assess if lesson objectives have been learned. Is the post. And enhance retention and transfer should be your very first action here on stimulated recall or prior knowledge. So how are you going to do this? Instead of talking about breakfast or instead of talking about food, you could go ahead and change completely and say, all right, so what do you think sick people eat in hospitals? What is the menu in hospitals and why? You are changing completely. So they have to think. And when they think, they have no choice but thinking in English, using what they have learned and recalling, you know, and that helps strengthen the neural pathways in an amazing way and helps them send everything to long-term memory if you ask them to recall frequently. Any questions?
Anybody have any question?
Well, after you read I will, in our Google Drive file, which was prepared specifically for this session, you will find links to my students' blogs, and you will see that 99% of them said, oh no, this is difficult. I don't like it. The teacher is not teaching. The teacher wants me to learn, which is ironic, right? It's like, what? Yeah, of course I want you to learn. It's not my brain, it's yours. But I didn't say that, but they didn't like it. They hated it. I'm just warning you. Don't worry. They will learn so well and they will be able to explain things in their own words that after that you have taught them a life skill. Not only how you teach, what you teach, to use technology. Nope. A life skill, how to learn. And with that, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart attending this webinar. And I would like to apologize for not being able to be, attending yours. I had several health issues. I thought I had cancer, and now I need to go under the knife next week. I postponed it in order to get 3/4 of my colon removed. And don't worry, I will take my computer, because being with you helps me remember and be focused on what I love. And I love you all, guys, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Rosemary, and stay safe, please.
Yeah, that is something that I didn't want to mention, but Rosemary has been going through very, very, very difficult times. It started like 2 months ago, I guess. It was COVID, and then family matters and many things. So thank you so much, Rosemary, because I must recognize you've been doing a very great effort to be there and trying to present today in spite of all the problems you were going through. That, by the way, I had forgotten, because you were so happy, so enthusiastic, and I just didn't remember the bad moments you were going through.
This is what I love, and this is what makes me happy, and this is what makes me forget about all those life-threatening things.
That's
and
true.
Yeah, and that's why I will take my computer and I will be with you from now on.
Yeah, that's true. That's what Edinson in Ecuador usually mentions. This is like a place, a spot where we all feel friends, family, love, compassion, gratitude, and everything else. So thank you so much, Rosemary. I don't know if anybody wants to say something or mention something, please.
About the presentation, please.
Or Rosemary. Anybody, please?
I just wanted to say thank you, because you mentioned in, for me, 2 different technological options, which are TPACT and Summer. So one of the things that I'm really grateful through all these webinars is to let me know and learn about so many technological things that I still have not tried. And it's like having a bucket list of all the things that you still have to learn. But thank you, Rosemary. And as Edison and Jaime just mentioned it, maybe when I said I'm retired, people might think like, what she's doing on a Sunday morning instead of enjoying it the Sunday. But even though, yeah, even though I retire, I'm still teaching, I'm still working, I'm still busy, I'm doing translations, I'm training, and I'm keeping my mind busy. But I think this group, it's important because it helps to see, know, and feel that we still belong to something, to a community. And that's a great sensation and a great feeling. So Rosemary, no, you're not alone. You have difficult situations. We have all faced difficult situations, but you're not alone. So you're going to be in that hospital with your laptop and with all of us backing you up. You only have to stay safe and do whatever the teacher tells you to do. You're not alone, my dear. You have the whole community backing you up, praying for you, wishing you the best. So go for it, whatever the doctor tells
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Jaime, for giving me the opportunity to present.
No, thank you, Rosemary. And by the way, just what you mentioned, Irma, I guess professors, teachers, educators are the only ones who never retire. You can be officially retired from school, universities, but because we are always learning, we are always teaching. So we never retire. We are teaching.
Yeah,
and
right. And
everything.
students also contact you, or
Thank God.
universities also
Thank God.
contact you. Oh no, that's a blessing. I'm always,
Yes, it is.
I'm grateful. That's a blessing that people call me, contact me, not only for classes, for helping them with the actual research, with the thesis, with international education, with going abroad,
or family issues.
family issues, yes, also. And then, you know, just I'm here to help. That's my motto. If
I'll
I'm here
contact
on this
you,
world, I'm
Irma.
here to help.
Irma.
Excuse me? I'm sorry, I
I
didn't
will
hear you.
contact you. I'm finishing my
Sure, please do so. All of you. I'm here to help.
Thank you, Irma. Anybody else, please?
Yeah, so I wanted to offer my gratitude, Rosemary. Thank you very much for, you know, keeping it simple, the pedagogy, the content, all of that, keeping it simple. And when I wake up at 6:30 in the morning now on a Sunday morning, I think, as you were saying, Irma, do I really want to do this? I'm not actively teaching right now, except on Zoom and classes like that. But the sense of belonging, the sense of being part of something is so beautiful at this time. As a human being, I long for connection, you know, and to be connected with others. This group gives us a sense of that connection, and you help.
Yes.
Yeah. And also restores a sense of purpose. For what purpose am I doing this? And so purpose and being resilient, bouncing back from something when we're connected to something bigger is so much more easier than. Thank you for being my community, my international community.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raj.
Thank you. Well, Pilar Cherokee in Piura, Peru, my city. Are you there? Ruben, hello, Ruben. Where are you today?
Good morning, everyone. Well, I had some connection problems, internet issues, but I heard enough to congratulate Rosemary for a very nice presentation. The last 9 points that you mentioned is what makes a class memorable, and we always look for it. And really, you made it concise, as Raj has just mentioned, and you gave us all the tools that we need to. And we are gratitude also for this ELT community thing created by, or started, not created, started by Jaime and Kahema. In this, every Sunday, we are nourished with knowledge because that is what it is life for a teacher. And we never retire, but we sometimes get tired.
We never retire,
Well,
but we sometimes get tired.
Oh, that's true. So true.
By Ruben Garcia.
Oh yeah. That's a quote. That's
no,
a quote.
actually, our teaching brain is open 24 hours a day. We are always open
My
for
goodness, Ruben,
students.
you are
We
very
sometimes
smart.
dream about it.
Yeah, we dream about it, really, yes. And our students have nightmares with us sometimes.
True.
Thank you, Rosemary.
Emily Macias in Mexico, the youngest.
Emily?
Emily
There she
Macias
is.
in Mexico. Something to say, Emily?
Sorry.
That's okay.
Something to say before we go?
No, well, thank you. It's always interesting to be here with you and learn things, especially from people that I know that have a lot of experience. So this is very, very important for me.
But you also have a lot of experience, Emily Macias. There are people who have never been to Mexico. There are people who have never eaten Mexican food. So you got lots of experience. Everybody has lots of experience, but we have different experiences. So that's why we are reunited here learning from you, Emily. Emily, you think because you are the youngest, you know less than us? No, you also, when I was your age, I never belonged to a community like this. Right, Raj? Right, Roxy? So you are blessed, Emily. And thank you for inviting Jocelyn Guadalupe. Beautiful name, Guadalupe, like the Virgin in Mexico. Something to say, Jocelyn?
Yes, first of all, thank you, Rosemary, for everything you communicate to us. And thank you, Teacher Jaime. I'm so happy to finally meet you. Emily talked me about you a lot. And thank you, Emily, for having me here. So um, I really enjoy to share with people like you, like Emily. It's an honor to being here learning for you and show you the things I know. I think that this is like an exchange, and it's so nice to feel that I have friends all over the world teaching and living experience just like me. And you have a house in Sinaloa if sometimes you're here, and I hope to see you next Sunday. Like
Please,
Rash.
your address, please, Jocelyn.
Okay, it's Culiacan. It's in Culiacan. Okay. And thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really hope to see you next Sunday.
Please join our WhatsApp group, Jocelyn, and we'll be
I
happy.
am there. I am there.
Okay. Anybody else? Today we finished earlier than usual. Roxy, you, Roxy and Ruben, you are in Lima, so you know what's going on in the capital city and what happened last night. And is that so terrible, like we watch on TV?
Yes, yes, it is. It is. It's really, really traumatizing to see how hard our young people are trying to demonstrate what should be done for adults. These young guys are facing a very difficult situation. They have their own ways to do the things. They said that they're doing the things because they want to represent middle-aged people. They want to represent the generation of their parents, the grandpas, and they don't want them to come out because of the COVID. And they are the ones who are facing this. This is a way to try to make us feel that we are unity. We are a community that all together, even though these problems. And just want to share with Rosmery some words that sometimes are making us bigger in the sense that we are bigger than our problems. These are just momentaneous situations that the things are happening to us in any field, in any situation, is because they want us to be better. It's just some kind of opportunities we have. They want us to be closer. They want us to be open. They want us to be bigger than we used to be. And everything that happens to us is just because they want us to realize of all the things we had. Sometimes we have so many things and we don't really appreciate them. And then when we lose them, or we're about to lose them, say, oh my gosh, all the things I had, I never appreciate. As today, Jaime said, okay, I have to clean my house, but I have a place to be in. I have to do the dishes, but I have food put on the dishes. And there are all of these things that we have to think about, that sometimes we said, we complain, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm tired of doing this. Things, I have hands to do that. Things, I have ears to listen to your words. Things, I have this opportunity to be here and to learn. This is one of the things I like the most, apart from the teaching part and the sharing of the knowledge, is the human beings behind all of these pictures I have here. I have 13 pictures, and I know 13 special souls that we are together here, not because we just want to practice or learn English, it's where we have a need. And this opportunity give us the chance to grow. This opportunity give us a chance to be better. And definitely nothing will go against our wishes, and all is going to be for a specific purpose. The only thing is that you have to be there to give all your effort, to give all, and never complain about that, because you are in a special way, a lot more than all of us. So God bless you, and all the best for you, Rosemary, and all the group here.
Thank you so much, Roxy. You should be a psychologist.
Yes.
I was about to be. I changed my career, studied 3 years of psychology, and I changed for teaching. But you know, life is like that.
We can see, we can see. Well, thank you so much, Rosmery in Bolivia, Irma in Ecuador, Raj in Canada, Roxana and Ruben and Pilar in Peru, Emily and Jocelyn in Mexico, Judy in Germany, Tanya, I guess, in Peru, and Mauricio in Ecuador. Next Sunday, we will have Tito Hidalgo, who, are you prepared, Tito, for next Sunday?
I'm sure he is.
Yes, sir, I'm ready.
Aris.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So see you. And thank you, all the people who were following us, 500 followers, Rosmery, in Facebook Live. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Keep safe, stay home, and see you next Sunday. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye-bye. Please